This video contains foul language and is not intended for younger viewers.
ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe for more things.
Kind of pops off at the head right there, side, ball joint right there, biceps.
Hey, what's up you guys, ShartimusPrime here doing a movie review on a movie that I've actually seen this time. It's called Thor, and I love the movie, man. Loved it. It was awesome as hell. Now, before I actually talk about the movie, I want to talk about two things really quick. Number one, spoiler alert, when I do movie reviews, actually I haven't done a movie review on one that I've seen in a really long time, but I like to talk about the spoilers, and I'm kind of assuming that everybody already saw it, or everybody that's watching my channel already saw it, because we's the geeks, you know? And the second thing I want to talk about is movie theaters. Alrighty, so I live in Pacifica. It's just 15 minutes south of San Francisco. There's actually one city in between Pacifica and San Francisco. It's kind of Daly City. So it's Pacifica, Daly City, San Francisco. There's a theater in Daly City that is right next to San Francisco. Okay, it's right next to the Sunset, and that's the Daly City Century Theater. Now the other theater that we go to, and this is with my brother, my girlfriend, and our friends, is in Tanforan. And I went to see it in Tanforan, and Tanforan is actually in one of the suburbs in San Bruno. It's actually still a neighbor of Pacifica, but it's, you know, it's on the. And there's a big difference to me between going to that theater and the Daly City Theater. Growing up, I guess like for the majority of the movies I went to were either in Pacifica, which there is no theater here anymore, but either Pacifica, Daly City, or Tanforan. And but my dad used to take us to theaters in the city, and you know, going to the movies was always a big deal for my dad. So when we'd go as a family when we were kids, my dad would always take us to the city. And as a kid, just hearing, like, people were just a lot more boisterous and excited, and people would applaud and cheer and yell funny shit. And sometimes you get ghetto people, but you know, at the same time it would end up being worth it. It would outweigh, you know, the good would definitely outweigh the bad, because it was, you know, a theater is a modern day theater. You know what I mean? Like when you hear about the Shakespearean theater plays and all that, like people would throw tomatoes, and you know they would holler shit if you know that something went bad or great. You know, that it was like, it's like a concert almost. You know, what kind of concert is it like to go to? You know, what kind of concert do you want to go to? You want to go to the one where everyone gets excited and pumped for the band, or do you want to go to the one where everyone just stands there and doesn't do anything? It sucks. It really pisses me off, man. And you know, my friend's girlfriend, you know, we say it's him, but we've known him our whole lives, and we think it's his girlfriend. You know, it's one of those kind of bullshit deals. Doesn't like the Daly City Theater because it's ghetto, so we ended up going to Tanforan. And dude, there's stuff that was happening in that movie. I got so pumped I couldn't contain myself, man. I started cheering and applauding. Like I said, spoiler alerts. The part that freaked me out that I can't get out of my mind is early on in the movie. You know, Loki uses his mischief powers and, you know, kind of convinces Thor to go and fight off try to fight Loki, and you know, gathers his posse and everything. And it's cool because the way they did that fight, Thor kicking at, mostly Thor I'm talking about, was he's just smashing people around with the hammer. You know what I mean? He starts smashing people around the hammer. Then he starts chucking the hammer. And you see the hammer, you know, hit him, and they show clearly that it comes back to him. They see it pause and goes back. And then you see him like really chuck the hammer, that one shot where the camera follows the hammer and it just knocks out frost giants left and right as it's going down. Oh man. But then it gets even cooler. He starts swinging the motherfucker around, dude, and it's going, man. Like that thing is just swinging around, and he's just fucking knocking motherfuckers out, dude. Oh, it was so sick. I got so pumped, man. I was going crazy in the theater. And then the climax to that scene is this giant frost giant, like giant dog frost giant thing comes alive. And it's like the major threat. Thor's on the other side fighting a bunch of frost giants. And he sees this go down. And they get this really low angled shot of Thor. And he swings his hammer around and shoots up into the air, man. You see him turn all tiny in the air. And then, shoom, goes right over you. And just blasts through the mouth of this thing. Goes into the mouth and pops out the other side. Oh, man. I was like, whoa, yeah. Oh, I was tripping. And then, like, my friend Ari, he started cheering, and I heard, like, 2 or 3 other people. I think my girlfriend said that there was actually 2. There's 2 other people that applauded at the end of the scene. And it's like, I felt like I was like, yeah! Yeah, alright, cool. Motherfuckers, dude. Like, damn, you stale fucking pieces of shit. God damn it. Why can't you enjoy the goddamn movie? It's Friday night, man. We know you already like Marvel Comics, you know? I know you like superheroes already. Get excited, get pumped, dude. Shoot, it may have been your second time seeing the movie, but still, jeez. So that scene was super cool. It's just like, I was like way up and then just went way down. I was totally sober, alright? I was just high on the movie and just went, just like kind of killed my high, man. Like, what the hell is that? But so I guess the most disappointing thing for me for that movie was you had that scene, and that was like, I think that happened within the first 20 minutes of the movie, I think, something like that, probably within the first half hour, 20 minutes. And you don't get to see action like that again. You don't get to see Thor kick ass like that again. And I think it's basically because what they did is like, that gave us Thor, and then see Thor do some other cool stuff. The battle against the Destroyer was more like just Destroyer kicking ass, which is cool. But at the end you see Loki kind of shine more. And he fights Loki well and everything, but it's kind of more like Loki's thing. And Loki was really, really cool in the movie. I love how they're doing Loki. It's just sick. And here's another point, man. Now, 2 comic accurate things that I noticed that weren't in the movie was the helmet. There's only one little scene in the helmet. You know, in the trailers, how you see Thor all holding the hammer like that? That's like part of a ceremony, and he's got the helmet on, and there's just one shot of him going, huzzah, or something like that. And you see Thor with the 360 with the helmet on. I thought it looked badass. I wish he was wearing the helmet with at least half of the movie, but he wasn't. And I think people may have thought it looked silly, but I thought it looked really damn cool. I thought it was so cool. So that was disappointing that he wasn't wearing the helmet so much. And then the whole Dr. Donald Blake thing. Now here's the thing I'm talking about, man. And this is what's so cool about Marvel Studios, making these movies, is that the way they did the Donald Blake thing was they basically cut him out of the movie, okay? Thor's supposed to have an alter ego. It's kind of, he transforms. He has a walking stick. And like I've said before, I'm not a huge Thor nerd. I mostly know Thor from reading like really old Avengers comics, that they have in Barnes and Nobles and trade. And Straczynski and Kopel's, I think that's how you pronounce the artist name. I think it was Kopel's run on Thor, which went about 2 years, I think. It was just like right after Civil War. So that's how much I really know about Thor, which isn't a whole lot, okay? But I do know that Donald Blake walked around with a walking stick, and if he stomped it down, a giant lightning bolt would come out of nowhere. That stick would turn into Mjolnir, and he would be Thor. I think that's how it worked, alright? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't really care if I'm wrong. But he had an alter ego. And Dr. Blake was kind of like a wimpy guy. I think he had a bad leg or something, I don't know. But they totally took him out of the movie. Like, he's not there at all. He never shows up. You never see Dr. Donald Blake. But the way they did it is, Natalie Portman's Jane Foster, her ex-boyfriend is Dr. Donald Blake, and Thor needs clothes, so she gives him Donald's clothes, and they falsify his ID in the system, and he's Dr. Donald Blake now. What a cool way to say, hey, Thor nerds, look, sorry, we're not going to have the Donald Blake in here like you probably want. But here's, this is a little something to let you know that we know he's not in the movie. So we're going to, give his, ID. We'll make his ID so at least some people are calling him Donald Blake when he's on Earth or something, Which I think is awesome as hell, dude. It makes it totally cool with me anyway. I'm sure there's hardcore Thor fans that are probably pissed off as hell about that. But I think for the majority of us nerds, I'm actually just speaking for myself, but I'm assuming, okay? Just assuming that for the majority of us nerds out there, we're actually okay with that. You know, I think so. I know for me, I could say it. So I haven't heard any of my friends or anybody else really complain about that. So that's like a cool thing. You know what I mean? So going back to, you know, nitpicky nerds. So those are, you know, those are two inaccurate things from the comics that, you know, that were a little off. But I was actually okay with, even though I wish he had the helmet more. Another thing I thought was weird is Hogan was Asian. And I don't hate Asian people, okay? And I know that the people are trying to cover their bases because Heimdall was black and, you know, in the comics he's not black. But the thing is, Heimdall still spoke like the rest of them. So it was like, oh, okay, he's, you know, one of the gods, but just happens to be black, you know? But Hogan, I thought, spoke like ancient Japanese warrior. Like, he had, like, such a thick accent, and it's like, a Norse god having a Japanese accent? Like, really? It just didn't... It's like, I don't know, if Heimdall spoke like, you know, if he spoke like a, you know, more of a, like a black dude, I would have been like, I would have felt the same way, you know what I mean? I would have felt like it was, but he didn't. He spoke just like the rest of them, but, you know, Hogan, you know, spoke like all weird. I wish Volstagg was, anyway, I wish Volstagg was fatter. I didn't realize till afterwards that it was actually, that I was played by Punisher from Punisher Warzone. But, you know, they kind of gave him like this gut padded thing right here, and I kind of wish he was actually like fatter, maybe give him some neck. His beard was covering up stuff, so he's supposed to have the beard. So, I don't know, but I thought the characters were cool. The Warriors 3, Sif and the Warriors 3 was really badass. I thought that was sweet. And we're seeing them all on Earth and everything. I just think that they did a great job of transferring the Thor universe and putting it into as realistic, you know, scenario as possible. I just thought it was really, really cool. Oh yeah, we get to see Hawkeye in the movie. Come on, man. Seeing Hawkeye was sick as hell. See him grab the bow and it's like, ooh! And you don't never see him fire an arrow, but he's standing there like that, ready to shoot for a while. And it's kind of cool because he's like, you know, you got to make a call because I'm starting to get on this guy's side. I thought that was really, really cool. So you could see how the allegiance is going to form in the future for, you know, the Avengers movie. But yeah, I thought the movie was badass. I just love the direction. Like when they introduce Asgard, I just love how they show the bottom of it and then swing around the top and just do a whole view of the place, man. It's just so cool. I just love how they filmed it. I thought all the actors were great. The guy who played Loki, dude, I geeked out off of seeing Loki on the throne, like, and the staff and like looking down on everybody and stuff and being all like, you know, truly like power hungry kind of guy, just loving it, you know. I thought Anthony Hopkins was great as Odin. I just thought everything was, you know, the majority of everything, not everything, but the majority of it was just really, really cool. I thought all the acting was great. I thought it was funny, you know. Like, the only part I didn't like was Jane Foster's friend. I thought she was really, really annoying. I really didn't really find her funny at all. Except when she said Mjolnir. I think that was actually kind of funny, because Mjolnir is a fucking weird word. But besides that, man, I just really enjoyed the movie. I got my $10 worth. I'm gonna see it again, of course, and I'm gonna see it at the Daly City Theater, or the AMC Theater, or at a theater, you know, somewhere where it's like the crowd is alive and not dead. You know, I just can't stand it, man. I hate that. But I don't really have anything else to say about the movie. I thought the plot was really, really rock solid, and it was good, and you know, it was like really predictable, the whole thing of Thor getting back, you know, earning his power back, you know, but that was cool. It's like, what else are they going to do? So, you know, and it made sense for the movie too, that he sacrifices himself to end, you know, he knows that Loki's beef is with him, so he's like, kill me, you know, go ahead and kill me and spare the lives of all these people. So that's cool that, you know, they did that, and it wasn't too bad. So that's pretty much all I think I got to say about that. Yeah, I thought the costumes were great. The movie was awesome as hell. Just wish we saw a little bit more of Thor swinging the hammer around and really kicking ass like how he did in that first scene. Alright, that's my movie review, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.